Hello everybody, it's TannerFishies here, back again with a new Ninjago video here on the channel. In today's video, I am still feeling a little bit sick and my throat still kind of hurts a little bit, so if I sound a little bit weird or tired in today's video, that's probably why. I just figured I would let you guys know. So let's go ahead and jump on into today's video topic. There is a massive rumor in the Ninjago community right now that LEGO might be planning on retiring the current lineup of Ninja starting in 2023. We do have some evidence to kind of support this rumor, and I would like to give a couple of my own personal thoughts as to how I feel about this idea, if it could happen, and what that might look like for Ninjago's future. Could LEGO actually be planning on retiring the current lineup of Ninja? Let's talk about that. Before we get into it though, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. Nothing I'm going to say in this video is 100% confirmed unless I say otherwise, so keep that in mind as we continue forward. So, the idea is right now that Ninjago will be retiring the current lineup of Ninja, ending off their stories in the year of 2022, and giving us perhaps a new group of characters to follow starting in 2023. The primary piece of evidence that we have to even suggest this comes from the leaked summer 2022 set list, which includes a large variety of sets that pretty much hint towards a final battle, or perhaps even a conclusion. This is something that I've already talked about in previous videos, but when you take a look at the actual set list itself, you might find that a lot of these sets do sound like they are straight out of Ninjago's 2013 final battle wave, with several sets featuring the Golden Dragon, or focusing on various aspects of Golden Power, or at least that's what we're assuming right now, just based off of these names. There is a vehicle for every ninja, a large Golden Dragon, a large samurai mech, and overall this wave feels like a final battle wave to not only myself, but several other Ninjago fans as well. If this were to be Ninjago's conclusion wave, if you will, I would not be super upset about that. This very much does seem like a finale in some way. Another reason why people are suggesting that maybe Ninjago could be retiring the current lineup of Ninja is because of Ninjago Core, which is essentially the most stereotypical Ninjago wave I think I've ever seen. Ninjago Core features mechs, dragons, vehicles, all kinds of different stuff, all staples of the Ninjago series. It seems to me like LEGO maybe did this intentionally. One last go round, one last wave of sets with familiar concepts before we jump into something entirely new for 2023. If LEGO designed Ninjago Core with that intention in mind, I could totally see the Ninjago story shifting from here. And also, for a final piece of evidence, Tommy Andreasen, one of the official creators of the Ninjago series, has said before that 2022's Ninjago story will bring about a conclusion to the actual series. What exactly he was referring to remains a mystery, but the word conclusion can go a long way. Was he referring to the conclusion of the Ventshone arc, the conclusion of the storyline of our favorite ninja, or the conclusion of the actual Ninjago series? Again, time will tell. So the evidence that we have right now totally suggests that Ninjago could be coming to a close, but that's not the topic of today's video. The topic is whether or not LEGO will retire this current lineup of Ninja. So why would they do that instead of just straight up ending the entire Ninjago series, if so much of Ninjago 2022 sounds like a conclusion? Well, thinking about it financially, Ninjago is very profitable for the LEGO company and has been for several years. While Ninjago may not be the most profitable series that LEGO has right now, there's no denying that Ninjago takes up a large portion of LEGO's market nowadays, especially towards kids. I don't think there's any way that Ninjago will be ending anytime soon, especially when you think about the fact that LEGO still probably considers Ninjago profitable, and as such will still keep creating Ninjago content. So if Ninjago is not coming to a close, what would be the point of rebranding and retiring the current Ninja lineup in favor of a new group of faces? Well, honestly, I think Ninjago is in a pretty good position right now to do just that. LEGO also needs to consider the fact that Ninjago is going to be repetitive, and it has been repetitive for quite some time. In my opinion, that's a big plus of the Legacy line. You could be repetitive while getting away with it. You can remake older sets that you've already attempted, but make them slightly different and pass them off as remakes. How long until Ninjago runs out of ideas and concepts and has to constantly retread older ideas in order to make something new? And when you take into account the TV show, there are only so many ideas that you can work with before the series itself starts getting, again, repetitive. Some would argue that Ninjago has already reached that point. And while switching up the characters may not get rid of the repetitiveness of Ninjago's format, I do believe it would provide something fresh to the overall brand and might appeal to more people in the process. If Ninjago does not retire the current lineup of Ninja, I think a soft reboot would also suffice. I don't consider Ninjago to have an issue with constantly focusing on the same 6 characters over and over again. In fact, I think a lot of those characters still have stories that need to be told, and backstories that need to be explored. But eventually there will be that point where Ninjago just needs to end before it gets stale. Again, some would argue that Ninjago has already reached that point, and even if that's true, there's still more to tell with these characters. But there's also room to introduce new characters and retire the current lineup. In my opinion, that's what made Bionicle stand out as a series. They constantly swapped out the main characters every couple of years to keep things interesting, to introduce fans to a new group of characters, complete with different personalities, motivations, and overall just expand the world. Ninjago's world building has always been fantastic, so introducing new characters or maybe having a flash forward to the future following 2022's conclusion, if you will, would not hurt the series in my opinion. We had many years to explore them, and I feel like a lot of us know these characters at this point. But what happens when their stories conclude? Is there a solid ending for some of these characters? Some people would argue yes, with Nia especially, and some would argue that there's no reason to bring her back anymore because her story is over. While I do believe that Nia will be returning at some point before Ninjago ends, I can totally see where this mindset is coming from. We've been following their stories for several years at this point. What does their endgame look like? In the summer of 2022, Ninjago could easily wrap up the storylines of the core ninja, aside from Nia of course, and open things up for a new group of characters starting in 2023. Maybe a new generation or even a reboot, as I mentioned earlier. Though I think a new generation of characters is more likely. A Ninjago reboot will probably not go over well for very many people. And I'm not sure a next generation series will either. I mean, any type of change is basically toxic to the Ninjago fandom, and LEGO making a change such as retiring the core 6 ninja that made Ninjago, that will probably be the most dramatic, biggest change that the series would ever face. I'm not sure if LEGO would be willing to take that risk just yet. Story-wise, I think it does make sense. The current ninja could still be around as senseis or masters to a new group of ninja. This new group of characters could always be the descendants of our current lineup. That would be ideal for me personally. And again, you don't have to completely retire those older characters. They can still be around and coexist with these new ones, but they won't be ninja. They will be masters, sensei if you will. I would love to see the 2023 story for Ninjago begin with a new group of ninja, with the old ninja sticking around and helping out as masters or sensei wherever they fit into the story. Characters like Master Wu and Misako might not be around anymore, but their spirits could live on through the older ninja who have adopted a similar role to them. If it were up to me to conclude the current Ninjago story and open the door for a new one, I would totally do something like this. Again, not concluding the entire Ninjago line, because I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe concluding the story of our current ninja may be a good way to keep things fresh and interesting, and perhaps jumpstart the Ninjago series once again, with a new group of faces and a new group of ninja. At the end of the day, there is evidence to support this theory being true. There are several things coming out for Ninjago in 2022 that could very well be looked at as a conclusion or an ending to our current ninja's story. I'm not sure if anybody knows the direction that Ninjago is currently headed, aside from, the people that work on the Ninjago series. As fans, it's currently hard to predict what exactly Ninjago is planning and where their future will go. I don't think anybody expected the summer 2022 set list to look like this. I don't think anybody could have predicted Ninjago Core making a huge impact in the Ninjago series at the start of 2022. What exactly will Ninjago be doing in the future? It's hard to say, but I'm excited to just be along for the ride. If Ninjago retires the current ninja lineup and replaces them with a new group of characters starting in 2023, it would be different, but I'd still be excited to see what was to come. But of course, as I mentioned, this is just simple speculation. I've already given my thoughts on the matter, and now it's time to turn it over to you guys. Leave a comment down below talking about what you think about this whole idea. Do you think Ninjago and LEGO are going to retire the current ninja team and introduce a new team starting in 2023? And how do you feel about the evidence used to support said rumors? Leave all your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys have to say about all of this, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. That'll pretty much wrap it up for my thoughts here today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and check out the links down below in the description for my other forms of social media. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video once again, you guys. My name is TannerFishies, and with that I bid you farewell.